So how much should you pay yourself as a startup founder, a small business CEO or small business owner, especially if it's, early in the life cycle of the company? Let's call it the first 5 years. Well, first of all, the first year or two, I suggest you pay yourself nothing if you can handle it financially at home. If you are living off savings, or maybe you have a partner that works, you can live off their salary. I recommend you pay yourself nothing to get it going if you can. When you do start paying yourself early on in the company life cycle, I recommend that you pay yourself lower than most of your employees, if not all of your employees, which, by the way, I'm still doing today. We've been in business over 5 years. My base pay is lower than anybody else in the company at Riderflex, and we have like 30 people involved. What you can do, however, is if the business has a good year, then at the end of the year, maybe if you want to write yourself a bonus check in December to make up for the fact that you've been paying yourself very little, I think that's okay if the business can handle it from a cash flow perspective and you have some extra cash at the end of the year. But for most early stage small businesses, I do recommend, if you can handle it personally at home, I recommend that you are the lowest priority in the payroll compared to your people. Take care of your people first early on, because without great people, you're not going to grow the company anyway. And to have great people in a startup, you got to pay them as much as you can, which even paying them as much as you can is probably going to be under their market value, because the company just doesn't have enough cash to really pay them what they're worth overall. So you sure as hell don't want to pay yourself more on top of paying them less than their market value, right? You don't want to do that. So even today, my base salary is lower than anybody else on the team from a monthly perspective. And then my co-founder and I reward ourselves at the end of the year if we make money, if we have a good year. And even then, it's still, not higher than, not double what everybody else is making. I mean, it might be on the top of the scale compared to, what some of the other people are making from a yearly perspective, but it's not twice as much. It's not even 1.5 times as much. I mean, we're very comparable to what most of the bigger commission recruiters are making for Riderflex, because we want to stay in line with our payroll, right? We don't want it to look weird. If you're early on building a company, you just can't do that. Okay. It's not going to win your people over. It's not going to win over your board members or your advisory board members or your investors or anybody else. So be careful with that. And I wanted to just address the topic because I've gotten a question a few times over the last few months. And there is your Riderflex tip of the day.